One of the big themes for Nagra at IBC 2019 was scalable services protection, and I'm delighted that we have Tim Pearson here to tell us about it. He is the Senior Director for Product Marketing. So welcome, Tim.
Thanks, John. Good to see you.
So first of all, tell us what it is and then why the market needs it so much right now.
Cool. So scalable service protection takes us to now start to look at all the elements of the service that need content protection or content protection is part of. And in doing so, what we've done is to bring together a number of pieces, recognizing that operators today are looking at a much more holistic view of their solution. They've moved on from their proprietary networks and they're moving into the OTT space, and that OTT area is a bit of a maze. And therefore the passage of that content through that maze requires a view of the solution, the service that's being offered, and that's why we now talk to scalable service protection.
Okay, and there's more devices and there's a bigger attack kind of surface really that people are worried about.
Absolutely. I mean, we're seeing vast amounts of devices going up almost on a daily basis now. And different ways in which people continually trying to interact with the content that they love, and then also in doing that, then those devices are not just smartphones, not just tablets. They become different types of perhaps set-top boxes. They become different types of mobile devices, and so on and so forth. So that ecosystem of I guess always having access to content means that there's a lot more endpoints for that content as it goes through that maze.
Okay, I mean, nothing's ever been easy in TV, but it's getting harder all the time. And you know, we know that everybody's looking to simplify workflows where they can. They're looking to get costs down. So how do we implement this successfully?
Cool, it's a fair point, and operators today are really, as you say, looking to simplify those operations. They're looking to get as many efficiencies as they can from that point. So what we're doing, particularly with some of our products now, is offering them from the cloud. So they're all cloud-based solutions. So they're offered as a service, meaning that a lot of the sort of the monitoring and that capability is increasingly with Nagra looking at it at a holistic level, but also allowing the customer to focus really on the operation that they're offering, which is providing that content to their consumers. So that simplification is, or also reduction in their operational complexities is one thing, but of course the key thing they still need to do is to maintain that their content is being protected to the level required by Hollywood and by the rights content owners as well. And that's where a lot of the tools that Nagra is providing through its scalable service protection theme are there to assist with.
Okay, and I believe that you can help service providers or content owners evaluate their needs and prioritise them.
Absolutely. So we have developed a new framework. We're calling it Radar. And what we're doing is looking at a number of axes. So those axes include things like monetization, network convergence, service protection, analytics, and BI. And when you look at those holistically across the piece, then what you find is that operators will have an awful lot of capability in some areas, less so in other areas, and so on and so forth. And then what that does is that gives us a picture of really where customers may be exposed, recognizing the multiplicity of threats across the piece. And that helps us to work with that customer and to work out what degree of service and what degree of offering or different types of capability, so be it our flagship cloud security services platform, or with other products such as watermarking, anti-piracy services, and so on and so forth.
Okay, and they can do an online trial of this solution, can't they?
That's correct. So we're now starting to offer the products that customers are using on an online basis, so people can sign up, they can evaluate the product. And they can evaluate that. They can look at it in advance of sort of moving on to deploy that in their network.
Okay, and this is already deployed with some customers. Vodafone was a recent announcement. I know there are others.
Absolutely. So yeah, so Vodafone was great. So that was part of our cloud SSP deployment for MDRM. So That's being used by Vodafone TV across their rollout, across their different opcos, and that's being used for open devices and for broadcast. And then also we've also recently announced with Airtel, which is an OTT pure play solution, again with an MDRN capability, and then also with Telefonica. And the part of that is looking at securing 4K content with that security services platform as well. So what we're seeing is that we're seeing an awful lot of big operators, and particularly in that case big telcos, really starting to embrace the need to take their operations into the cloud, and also to be able to offer that broad system of capability in managing their networks and their offer to consumers on a daily basis.
Okay, I mean, right at the start we talked about the attack surface and the proliferation of devices. I mean, when you look at the future, we see IoT come in, and we know that some operators would like to sort of have a role in that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, is this something that can be embraced within this solution?
I think IoT is a really fascinating area, and what we see is, as you say, we see a proliferation of IoT devices all over the home. I mean, if you scan your network at home, there's hundreds of different devices hanging off it. And I think with Nagra, we have a very strong and proven track record in providing security around content and securing access. And so really that's a natural next step to start to provide that level of security in and around the home capability as well. So one of those areas that potentially can increase the threat level is around things like the home router, where all those devices are obviously plugged into, and provides a level of vulnerability. So what Nagra is actively doing at the moment is looking at a number of products, such as the Home Scout product that we put on our stand at IPC this year, to start to provide a secure connected home piece as well. As we see people, as I mentioned, that proliferation of devices, but also that then becomes supersized when you add those IoT devices as well.
Okay, well, it's an incredibly important subject, so thanks very much for talking about it, and great to see you.
Great, many thanks, John.